All right, guys, we're back. This is a part two of Talk to Keki fall finale.
Indeed. その通りですね。
All right, if you just listened to the part one, that is where we talked about a majority of the season finales. And now part two is we are going to do the fall awards. And then after that, depending on how quick or short this is, we might just do it all here. If not, then there's going to be a part three with our top 10.
Indeed.
All right, you ready to give out some cakes?
Ha! Ikzo!
Alrighty, as always, we always start with the Christmas cake that no one wants, our disappointment of the season. Even, what was your disappointment?
I gotta get it onto my phone. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm gonna go with like not an anime, a full anime per se. I'm gonna go with the ending of Talked, which we discussed about in the previous episode.
Yeah.
And I'm also gonna go with the middle of Aquatope. Because like I had mentioned previously when we reviewed Aquatope a few weeks back. Honestly, Aquatope, like the end of Aquatope was good. I didn't mind it at all. But that middle point, I just, after starting off so strong and giving me high hopes, like it just tapered and it was meh. It was very meh.
Very meh.
Meh. So I expected a lot of Aquatope. And again, we didn't get some of the questions that we needed answered, such as who the fish god is, or anything like that, or any real clear answer to why those aberrations happened to certain people, why they happened outside of what's it called, Gamma Gamma, and started happening in Tingarla. Will that be a thing going forward in Tingarla where people will see expectations, or is this now only centralized to Fuka and Kukuru? So, I mean, between the questions of Aquatope and the mehness of the middle, as well as the ending of Talk being disappointing and disconjointed, those are my disappointments.
All right, mine was Ganabre Doki-chan. Again, people hyped it up because, like, oh, it's a Nechi manga. It's great.
What people? I never saw those hypes at all.
Not in the group.
Clearly,
like some anime pages.
Oh, I didn't see anything regarding the group.
Yeah, like people were like looking forward to it. First, we weren't gonna get it, now we got it on Crunchyroll.
I saw
it was just like they're just.
I started watching Tawawa before I started watching Ganabre, and once I got the gist of that they're basically the same shit. It is what it was. It's 5 minutes. You could do worse things with your 5 minutes a day.
Yeah. Again, like just nothing was just interesting. Just her having sometimes a sex dream with the other guy, Doki-kun. And even then, there was just nothing. There was nothing there, even with the romance. So yeah.
What'd you give it?
Like rating wise?
Yeah.
Like a 2.5.
I gave it a low 3, although I may change it to a 2.
Yeah, this is again just nothing. Meh. Nothing to write home about.
It was meh.
Pretty much. Alrighty. What cake should we give out next? Surprise.
Heart cake?
Heart cake?
Tart cake.
Tart cake.
I don't know what you would classify tart cake as. Is tart cake even a cake?
The tarte tatin? Yes. Various fruits, common apple, pear, caramelized in a pan when topped with a puff pastry and baked in an oven.
So not a fruit cake, but a tart cake.
Yes, it's a French cake.
Okay, cool.
All right. Oh, yeah. We'll get this to surprise. What surprised you?
Otome. Taisho Otome Fairy-chan.
All right.
Fairy tale. I don't know why I say Fairy-chan. Jesus Christ. Fairy tale.
Fairy tale.
I didn't expect it to be as good as what it was. I didn't expect there to be that historical accuracy. I didn't expect for the love story to be as strong as it was. I didn't expect it to convey, real emotions like it did. So it was a pleasant surprise for me.
All right, very good. Mine is Rank of the Kings.
Because
it was judging by the poster, I probably thought nothing of it. And then I heard how excellent the first 2 episodes were. That's what made me want to watch it and add it to the list. So at that, it was just so good. I was just blown away. So that was what. So yeah, I'm very happy with that.
Fair enough, sir.
So good shit from there.
Let's give out the fruitcake next, since we're on fruits.
Well, that's what kind of the Christmas cake.
Is Christmas cake kind of fruitcake? Okay.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. Well, so I was like no one wants it.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Let's go with best fight, and then the cake.
Is that rum cake? Let's make that rum cake.
No, let's make that rum cake. Best fight for the season. What was your fight?
Destiny and Orpheus.
Really?
Yeah, because I don't know what other fights I could have really. I'm trying to think.
I'll give you one right now. I'll give you my cake.
Yeah.
Dead End versus Orsted from Mushoku Tensei.
Hold on, you said who versus Orsted?
Dead End.
Dead End.
Dead End.
Oh, Dead End.
Rudy, Eris, Ruger.
Oh, okay, yeah. They got their ass whooped. It wasn't.
It was still a fight.
No, you know what? I changed my cake. No, Lenny and Titan versus Heaven and Hell.
All right, fine. I'll give you that one. That one.
Yeah.
I was saying Destiny and Orpheus. Fuck out of here.
I couldn't think of one off the top of my head.
Okay.
Lenny and Titan. No, let me do Lenny / Titan. Lenny / Titan. You know, like I said, the other one was ass whooping. It wasn't really. I should have put Rudy versus his father.
Yeah, but again, it was just more. There was more development for it, like with Rudy, and then the guy, of Orsted. It was just more there. So and the fight with it. Yeah, it was an ass whooping, but again, the emotion with it.
I'll go Titan Lenny versus Heaven and Hell.
That's a good fight. That's probably my favorite fight intact.
It is.
All right, now we're gonna give out the Boston cream pie
or the bedroom cream pie.
For this one, we will do best original anime.
I mean, for the cream pie, we should do it in the couple.
No, that's the Red Velvet.
Is that Red Velvet? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of. I don't know if original should be a cream pie. Comedy should be cream pie.
Comedy?
Yeah, let's do comedy for cream pie.
Alrighty. Let's do. How about birthday cake?
For
original. Yeah.
Sure.
All right. Let's do a good old fashioned birthday cake.
Birthday cake for the original. Talked because apparently I didn't watch many originals from what you told me.
Yeah, that's mine too, because it was that or Visual Prison. So
yes.
So it's by default. I think it's the only one we agreed on so far.
What about copy cake?
Copy cake?
Is there such thing as a copy cake? I don't know.
You mean coffee cake?
I was thinking coffee cake, but we could do coffee cake.
All right, coffee cake will be adaptation.
Yes, let's do adaptation. You know what? I chose Jobless, spoiler alert, for a lot of these guys. So I wanted to do something different because I didn't give this one much love at all. I'm gonna go with World's Finest Assassin.
All right. That works for me. Mine is Mushoku Tensei.
Okay, cool.
Again, after reading the light novel, it's fantastic.
It really fucking is. There's not a lot. Like I said, I would have given it to Jobless by default, but I wanted to give Finest Assassin an award, and I didn't really find it anywhere else. Now let's go with the Boston cream pie.
All right. Best comedy. What was your comedy?
I chose House Husband because I didn't really, there was parts where I laughed at different intervals, but there wasn't anything that was like truly outstanding. I mean, the funniest thing I think I saw this season was House Husband. So we'll go with House Husband.
That was definitely one of them. Mine is Komike Communicate.
Again, parts are funny, but it
didn't I laughed more in this.
In Comey versus House Husband?
For part 2, House Husband, yeah. Part 1 is still
funnier.
Fucking blows it away, yeah.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, if it had that same quality, I probably would have picked that.
If it had the same quality, it might have fucking won Comedy of the Year. But we all know who's going to win Comedy.
Overall would have won Comedy of the Year, hands down.
Yeah, which we'll get to next week, guys.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there.
Indeed.
Okay, let's do pick a country.
Pick a country?
Yes, and that's where I'll go for the next cake.
Switzerland.
All right.
Swiss
all right.
Cake.
All right, come on, Sweden. All right.
Sweden?
Oh, no, there's one Switzerland. The Zuger Christorte. The Zuger cake. Zuger.
The Zuger cake.
It's a sponge cake with buttercream with a cherry brandy and nutmeg. We will give this one to best OP.
I was thinking that.
All right, what was your favorite OP?
I'm gonna say Jobless, and
okay.
The reason why
which one?
I was gonna explain the reason why I gave it to Jobless as a whole. If it wasn't Jobless, I was gonna give it to Banished Hero. I love Banished Hero. So in terms of like a single OP, I would give it to Banished Hero. But the reason why I'm giving it to Jobless is because the OP, it captures it's hard to describe that feeling, but it captures a feeling when you're listening to it, because most of the time the OP runs as the credits are running, as the anime is doing something. You're like setting a scene, you're setting a feeling or an ideology that's going to be talked about during the episode. But the way that it sets that scene for the viewer, it's so good. Like I feel every time I hear that, like it's happy or tranquil, or it could be, some sort of like mellow, sad type of feel, depending on where the show was going. I think the OP, because it's flexible, captures the precedent of the show quite well.
All right, very good. Mine is Blue Period. The theme worked. The song worked for the theme of the show. If you actually listen to the lyrics, they're fantastic. The guy singing it is great. It's one of the songs I have on loop. I just love the beat of it and everything. So, if it was almost World's Finest Assassin, but no, with Blue Period, it just took the cake. All right. All right, moving on. Butterfly Cake, ED. What was your favorite ending theme?
Comey.
All right, very good. Mine is World's Finest Assassin.
Okay. I liked it too.
I also liked how it changes with the like Luke. Sometimes Luke is there, sometimes he's not there.
Yeah, no, I like it. That makes sense.
So that was definitely a great one. I'm very happy with it.
Fair enough.
Right. Fair enough. All righty. Let's go to Poland.
Poland. What is there?
What is there indeed? A lot. They like their cake.
I'm sure they do.
Faworki.
Forky cake?
Faworki.
Faworki cake.
It's a sweet, crisp cake in the shape of a bow.
Sounds like fuckery cake.
Yeah, there is a lot of fuckeries. All right, supporting girl.
Supporting girl. It was hard for me to choose because I don't consider her a supporting girl because I loved her story so much, but I chose Sakurai from My Senpai is Annoying.
No, she is supported.
I loved her story 10 times more than I love
but she is still considered supported.
Yeah, I chose Sakurai. I love their love story. I love her dynamic. She's fucking adorable and like way better of a character in my opinion than fucking Futaba. So I gave it to her.
No, I almost picked her, believe it or not.
No.
Queen Hillen from Ranking of Kings.
Okay, fair enough.
No, she seemed like this. At first, when you first see her, she's supposed to be like this Queen Cersei type, like evil person. But later on, you just show how much she actually cares for her kids, especially Boji. And the fact that she even healed him after her other son died and kicked the shit out of him.
I'm sorry. Every time I hear the word heal, I think heal. Or
she does heal, like heal.
Or heal, like heal.
Yeah. But no, again, she's like very supportive of her kids, and she actually just cares about the kingdom.
Yeah.
So all this shit is like good stuff. I was very happy with her. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Ube cake from the Philippines.
So we're going international cakes. Okay.
Yeah. So I'll let you pick the next one. But this.
I'm gonna be basic. I'm gonna do like fucking like chocolate cake or vanilla cake.
So
if you want to be
supporting male.
Supporting male, Lenny.
All right. Yeah. No, he's a great one.
Chose Lenny,
and we've already talked about him enough.
Yes, Lenny is one of the stars of Talk, one of the unsung, pun intended, heroes of Talk. Can't stress how amazing he was throughout that series and how critical he was to the show. So, for sure, Lenny.
Another regular Kings, Prince Despa.
So your job list is ranking of Kings. Basically.
I think I only have one more for them, and that's it.
Really?
After this, yeah.
Okay.
A lot of different categories.
Fair enough.
I just thought it was a great job. Like you expect, like he helped Boji become this powerful without really relying on strength. It's more on skill, and he made him show his untapped potential and just how supportive he was of him. And and he's the prince of the underworld, and people love him more than the kings. And he's not a strong fighter himself. He's just smart. So, and just everything he does from there, and like his final words to Boji is like learn to love yourself and all that. He has that much faith in him.
Yeah.
All that was enough for him to win me over.
Yeah.
If he wasn't there, I definitely would have picked Lenny.
Makes sense. I love Lenny, so but that's fair. I agree.
I definitely like Lenny. So
yeah.
Alrighty. All right, pick a cake.
Cinnamon cake.
All right, that will be the duo.
Cinnamon cake for duo.
Again, for people, this is not couple. Like it's like partnership, friendship.
Yes, indeed.
Anything that's not a dated.
Did I put? I don't know if I have duo. Where's duo? I didn't pick a duo. It wasn't in the list.
Well, I'm pretty sure you know what yours is.
Oh, Dead End.
Oh, Aris, Richard, and Rudy.
Yeah, it's a trio, but you know.
But it's still a group. Yeah, you got a group.
It's a group, yeah. So.
Yeah. Oh, I picked Lenny and Titan.
Really? Well, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, because I was just more focused on two people.
Yeah,
and I love them together.
Yeah, they're ultimate team for sure. Ultimate team. I mean,
especially
I would have.
Final song.
I would have. You know, honestly, I wouldn't have. Even if you would have said Talk and Destiny, despite the shortcomings of the show, I wouldn't have minded that either. You know, Lenny and Titan are more likable.
Lenny and Titan overshadowed them.
Yeah,
again, especially after their final fight together. I think that's what sold me more.
Oh, that makes sense.
But you can't go wrong either way.
No, all these you can't go wrong.
All right, now we're gonna do the red velvet best couple.
Red velvet cake for couple. That was easy as far as I'm concerned. That was Yuzu and Tamahiko. Easy. The no couple, with the exception of maybe Sakurai and Kazuma to a small extent, and to a little bit more of an extent, I would say Red and Rit from Banished Hero, because they have a more adult oriented relationship. But in terms of like the developments that we saw with Taisho between Tamahiko and Yuzu, the depths of sadness that Tamahiko endured until he met the freaking shining ray of the universe for him, Yuzu, and what she became to him and how much Tamahiko means to her over the course of that series, it's undeniable. So it's easily the best couple as far as I'm concerned this season.
Yeah, I actually picked them as my couple too. If I didn't watch this, it would have been Kazuma and Sakurai.
Which is pretty sad considering the secondary couple would be couple of the year.
Yeah, but no, I definitely enjoyed them. I like their chemistry. Yeah, they're a little young for my taste.
I agree too, but you know, you have to think of the time period. This is Taisho.
No. I am thinking time periods of culture, like how
this was in the 1920s. So yeah, no, not fucking. It's not fucking Koikimo.
But I'm saying like culture, and like as again time or culture. Like I'm just doing like how people have done it, because even though younger people did get married, to older people, I'm saying like as an example.
Yeah.
But again, they still had that great chemistry. It's an
undeniable chemistry. It's an undeniable.
Yeah, and they were fun. There was a lot of sweet moments, and like it had a nice conclusion to it. So I was happy with it.
It did. Fantastic. The second one that we agreed upon.
Yeah. All right. Best music. So the opera cake. So the best music themes.
I watched one thing, and that was Talked.
Yeah, and I had Talked to Visual Prison. I liked the songs of Visual Prison, but music based, I still gave it to Talked.
Easy. I get where you're coming from with that, like songs. I actually, if I'm being honest, I probably would have liked
I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there's another one that I really enjoyed, like the musical aspects that wasn't based on that, but
right.
Yeah, it was for sure gonna be freaking.
All right, so we got another one we agreed on, even though it was by default.
Kind of, sort of. That's 3.
Yeah. All righty. The moon cake.
Ooh, ski cake.
Moon cake from China.
Ski cake.
Yes. Okay. This one will go to animation.
I thought you were gonna say supernatural.
All right, we'll do supernatural. What was your supernatural?
By default, Mieurko.
We still had some, but
you watched more.
I had more supernatural. That's right. But yeah, definitely mieurko-chan.
Yeah.
Again, how they handled the ghosts was fantastic.
It gave me the fucking heebie-jeebies, dude.
Some were legit terrifying.
Truthfully, that's why I didn't rank it very high, because freaking them goddamn ghosts gave me fucking heebie-jeebies.
Well, I probably ranked mine a little higher than yours for that, but yeah, it was nicely done.
Yeah, I agree.
So we got good stuff from that. Alrighty, bigger country,
Brazil.
Don't have one. The Brazil nut cake. What are we giving this one to?
Hold on a second, because I'm adjusting my top 10 based off of something I thought of. Okay. Brazilian nut cake. Thriller mystery.
All right, we'll do thriller mystery. What was yours?
Mieurko by default.
I had a mystery category.
Thriller. Yeah, kind of, because of because of what's his face? The guy Zen.
I can see that, because it's mostly comedy, horror, supernatural. But yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, I chose it because of Zen. Really, who did you pick?
I picked World's Finest Assassin.
I
had to give it something.
All right. That's
again, there was more of a mystery of like trying to find out about the hero.
That didn't really come into play though, and it was a baseline that didn't come into play until the last episode of the season. That's why
I will change it.
To what?
Lupin the Third.
Okay.
We did have a mystery about the Raven Group, the death of Watson.
Okay.
Sherlock Holmes was involved.
There we go. To me, that sounds like default. There.
Yeah, I just wish there was more of it instead of half the course.
There you go. Boom.
All right, there we go. All righty. Let's go frog cake.
The fuck is a frog cake?
It's like a cake that shape of a frog's head.
Okay.
All righty. That one we will give to adventure, a new category for us. Adventure.
Jobless by default.
All right. Mine was Ranking of Kings.
We're gonna at this point we're getting closer to where I'm just gonna say jobless.
But no, mine was Ranking of Kings because of the story of Boji was what intrigued me in that journey.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. So, it is an adventure for sure.
Yeah, if not, I would have picked Mushoku. But
yeah,
but that is the last Ranking of Kings for me.
Oh, good.
Hey, it's like thank God.
Right. You want to do? Let's do vanilla cake.
All right, who are we giving that one to?
Best boy.
I usually say boy and girl for that near the end.
Oh, okay. We'll do. I want to do vanilla and chocolate.
So we'll save those for
boy and girl, vanilla and chocolate. All right.
We'll do marble
cake. Okay.
Slice of life.
Otome
for you.
Otome for me.
All righty, very good. Blue period. We got the aspects of the artist, like how these are legit things. It's not always happy.
Yeah.
And you see the reality of it, and they play that off very well.
Yeah.
Again, people collapsing from not eating, stress, hives.
That makes sense. Honestly, there's always one anime I feel that we each have, where it's if I had more time, I would have watched that one. And everyone's gonna say Ranking of Kings, but I probably would have gone with Blue Period. Truthfully,
I think you would like Blue Period better.
Yeah, I would probably go Blue
Period. That one I would have recommended if you had time.
Yeah. So it's on my. I don't think I put it on my list. Maybe one day I'll put it on my list. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, there you go. We'll put it on there. Alrighty. Buko pandan cake.
What the fuck is that?
From the Philippines, a sponge or chiffon cake flavored with extracts from boiled pandan leaves and frosted with cream and young coconut or macapuna strips.
Okay.
Or coconut spores, what they call it. But yeah, it's more of a coconut type texture. We will give that.
Animation?
Let's give it to fantasy.
Fantasy, okay. Jobless by default.
Yeah, I picked Jobless in that one too because the world building of that is just fantastic, especially when seeing the demon continent, them back home.
Is there really, when you think about it, is there any other anime that hits near that in terms of world building
of the season or in general?
In the last few seasons or couple years, I struggle. There might be. But I struggle.
There might be, but I can't think of anything because I know I'm not gonna say One Piece because that probably has the best world building.
Yeah,
for those that read the manga.
True.
But no, for like a fantasy type, especially like an isekai sense, yeah, I would definitely give this Mushoku Tensei.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of the world building of an isekai, it's tough. You know, I have a soft spot for ReZero, but it doesn't compare.
Alrighty, there the strawberry shortcake.
Strawberry shortcake.
That I believe what we have animation. We'll save that for
animation, anime, drama.
Let's give it to drama.
Drama.
Yeah.
Okay. Mieurko
for you.
Yes.
All right. Very good. There was definitely a lot of drama in there. I'm actually giving mine to Hickey Story.
Okay.
Again, with the journey of Biwa, like learn about the Hickey Empire, the rise and fall of it.
Yep.
Especially how it ended, where the Hickey family basically committed suicide.
Yep.
The Emperor, Toko, everyone, and Biwa just more or less told their story.
Yep.
With the Biwa instrument. So I enjoyed it for that alone in the drama sense.
Makes sense.
All righty. All right. Now we'll do the cheesecake with the animation.
Cheesecake, animation, talked. Nothing came close to talked in animation this year. In this season, rather. Nothing.
Yeah, I was saying nothing. I'm not sure for year, but definitely season.
Season. Season
was so good.
Nothing. You can't. Don't count the Mugen Train arc. Don't count that shit. No, we're not counting Mugen Train arc. In terms of anything else in this season besides the Mugen Train arc, which I'm sure everybody and their mother's seen a bunch of times already, which we're not counting. Notice not, and nobody picked it, neither him or I, in anything.
Yeah,
nothing.
Nothing. They got nothing because again, it already happened.
It already fucking happened. So in terms of animation, and like it's a top 5 contender of the year, but minimum, and easily fucking animation of the season. Animation season, easy.
Right, easily tied. Again, it's just beautiful. Madhouse, Mappa, they did a fantastic job.
Orgasmic.
Yeah, they just work so good together.
Jizz everywhere.
All righty. All right. Now we're gonna do the chocolate cake. Best female.
Yuzu
for you.
Yes.
I gotta go in depth or just that's it.
No, I had mentioned her before, and when I was talking about the relationship aspect, just like I said, in terms of being I'm a sucker for girls that are rays of hope, that provide light at the end of the tunnel, that are wholesome yet pretty, yet are strong and confident, yet are able to express when they're weak, things of that nature. Like, I love those varying aspects of femininity in animation and in anime, and Yuzu defines a lot of that. Again, the ray of sunshine in Tamahiko's light, wholesome and really so kind and sweet and forgiving, yet able to understand and process and deliver and express her emotions in a way that's not toxic or takes away away from anything. It makes you relate to the character and feel how you would feel for any other person that you may know that may be going through a situation like that, or if you were in that position, you would be able to understand her. The compassion she has for people, her friends, circumstances, her strength because she stands up to people in certain instances as well and puts her foot down when she needs to because of what she believes in. She's fucking amazing. There's a pretty decent amount of decent women, but I don't think anybody really is comparable to Yuzu, in my opinion, this season.
I picked Miko from Mieurko-chan.
Okay. Why is that?
I enjoyed her. Like, I love how she was. You see, like, the actual legit fear from seeing these ghosts, while also trying to play it cool. I liked her interactions with Hina and Yulia. And just her selfless sacrifice of giving up that final spirit fate to help out Zen. It's like very selfless. Like, I just enjoyed a lot of her.
Speaking of Mieruko, I want to add another thing that she'll win for me, at least.
Where?
The banana cake for best ecchi. Mieruko wins.
We're not doing ecchi.
Why not? It's a category, right?
God damn it, it is.
It's a category.
All right, I will pick it.
We watched 3 of them. You watched 2. I watched 3.
Yeah, I watched Doki-chan, I watched Mishuko, and I watched Mieruko.
I'm gonna give it to Mieruko.
All right, fine, we'll give it to Mieruko.
Banana cake, y'all.
Banana cake ecchi. All righty. But Miko for best girl for me. A lot of people love her, and it's hard to debate why. But that is it for that. All right, vanilla cake, best boy.
I gave it to Tadano-kun. I mean, in terms of his patience and his understanding, and again, he's wholesome as well. He's a great boy. It probably was a lot closer, but literally off the top of my head, I can't. It's hard for me to think of any other better boys. I mean, I could have given it to Rudy, but like I said, Jobless is going to take a lot of other ones for me, and did take a lot of other ones. And Rudy is still, somewhat perverted, and I don't think somebody that's as perverted as Rudy, even though he's getting better, I don't think somebody as perverted as Rudy should probably win best boy, considering. I almost picked Lug as well, but Lug is fucking his cousin, and he openly admits that he's basically using Tarte and Maha because of the fact that they have magic. And even though he isn't an asshole or a dick or like one of those pieces of shit that like rapes his girls or anything like that, he's not nefarious, but he's not as kind of a soul as he is portraying. He's basically acting a part as a means to an end, because his ultimate objective is to kill the hero. And he's just using these other girls as tools. They just happen to be fine and want to fuck him. So
right,
that's why I didn't choose Lug, but I'm gonna go with Tadano-kun.
All right, I picked Rudis. I enjoyed his growth from compared.
I'm very surprised you didn't pick Boji.
I wanted to, but Rudis had more growth. While Rank of the Kings focus on a lot more of other characters as well.
Okay.
But there was more Rudy than Boji.
Okay.
If I had more Boji, I definitely would have picked him. He's second. Sure. But again, with the growth from the first part 1 to now part 2, this how he is. He's still this piece of shit human being. He's still this perverted guy, but he's still learning. He's still growing to be that better person, especially after that last episode when he was back to his old self of being in a rut, being depressed, not doing anything.
Yeah.
And there's the flashback of him and his mom, like he actually, someone is there to care for him, and he wants to be that person people expected him to be. So that's why I picked him.
I think Rudy is by far a better character compared to my pick, Tadano. I just think in terms of what a best boy exhibits,
right.
I think Tadano would exhibit best boy behavior more than Rudy does.
Oh no, agreed.
So that's fair though. Rudy's in there. It was between Rudy, Luke, and I picked Tadano as an underdog pick just to spice it up a little bit.
Right. I think we could do this as a 2-parter, like this. Yeah. In general. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's keep on going.
All right. We're gonna take one commercial break.
Wait. Incorrect, sir.
What'd you forget?
You forgot best anime.
Well, that's going to be with the top 10. Because if we say it now, why bother seeing our top 10? Alrighty, are you all ready for our top 10?
Hi! Iku, Matt-kun, Iku!
Alrighty, before we do that, we do have our honorable mentions, and we usually pick 3 for the seasonal stuff. Yes. So what are your 3 honorable mentions, Ethan?
Number 3 honorable mention, which is number 13 anime of the season, Scarlet Nexus. As I said before, it was pretty strong. Did I pick it last season at all?
I don't think so.
I did not. It made an honorable mention this time around because of the fact that, like I said, the end, like this second half of the season was a lot stronger in terms of the story aspect. It built to something that turned out to be something decent. Again, the animation's hit or miss. Music is, whatever. And the story, again, it has peaks and valleys, but there were way more peaks this season, I felt, in Scarlet Nexus, to the point where I wasn't I can't wait. Even though I was happy when it was over finally, I was like, thank God it's over. I didn't necessarily have that, I have to watch this fucking shit. Like I felt with watching stuff like Back Arrow from a couple seasons back, right, for example. So, yeah, that was number 3. Number 2 for me is actually, wait, you want to say your number 3, Matt?
Yeah, we'll do like the back
alternate. All right, go ahead, Matt.
Senpai is annoying. Yeah, I enjoy something. I enjoyed the characters. I enjoyed the dynamic for some of them, and there are times I did laugh, but there was just other stuff that was just better in those categories.
Yeah.
Like we had better romances, we had better comedy, and had better characters in some of these. So I liked it, but it just didn't crack everything else.
That's fair.
All right, number 2 for you.
Number 2 for me, Aquatope. Did you rank Aquatope because it was?
I did not.
You did not rank Aquatope.
I didn't touch it. I don't know. It would have been an honorable mention if I did pick it.
Because it was between Aquatope and House Husband for me.
Yeah.
I chose Aquatope just because.
It's still enjoyable. It's still a nice coming of age type story.
Yeah, and I think Aquatope. I think that's why. At the end of the day,
is there some of it just didn't?
That's the
fully.
Yeah, I was gonna say it just didn't hit, like I said, the way I wanted it to hit. As Matt said, it's a coming of age story that if you appreciate stuff like that, it hits well. It's a great visual piece. It's one of the top animations of the season, even though Tak blew it out the water. I wouldn't say it blew it out the water. I shouldn't say that it blew it out the water. It was a really good, for a regular anime, it was definitely pretty good. In terms of the animation, and like I said, in terms of the coming of age story, it's pretty good. If you believe in conservation of wildlife and sea life, it's great. If you want to know about Okinawan culture and Okinawan things to do within the city of or the town or city island of Okinawa in Japan, it's a great infomercial for that as well. So it's got its benefits from there. I just didn't get what I wanted out of it. From the aspect, like I said, there were too many questions that were left unanswered for me. But yeah, that's what I ranked it, I guess. So what about you?
All right, number 2, Lupin the Third, Part 6.
Okay.
I liked more than half of it, but there were just some episodes that just didn't click. I'm sure I'll love the second core a lot more. Depends on how it goes, but again, if you know Lupin, it's the normal formula. A good chunk of it is story, while some of them were just side heists that happened here and there. So I got those. Again, just some of them just did not land. But I still loved it as a whole. Just again, there was other stuff that was better or liked a little better. So it's definitely on there for me. So what was your number 1 honorable mention?
Comey.
Really? That low?
I chose Comey. It's funny. It's cool. It's not hitting the way I thought it would hit. I honestly, it's a bit overrated for me. It had a lot of hype. At the beginning, it was great, and then slowly as the seasons progressed, it hasn't had that hype for me. I find myself sometimes annoyed at the idea of Comey not being able to communicate whatsoever. Like, I understand she has like is it considered a mental disorder because of that?
Social disorder.
I understand it's a social disorder, and anxiety, crippling anxiety, is a real thing in society, but in some capacity, especially at a high school age, you should be able to communicate in like some sort of, some sort of way. Like some iota of a way you should be able to express yourself, if not to strangers, to at least people that you're cool with. At minimum, through the first 10 episodes that we've seen thus far in America, she's cool specifically with Tadano and Najimi, those two people. So even if you have difficulty speaking to the other auxiliary people, at minimum, you should be able to express yourself in some sort of fashion with those two people. And she has yet to do that as well. She's very, 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 very slowly saying stuff. I mean, honestly, dude, you could probably count on one hand the amount of time she actually spoke words. You probably can. And that's not necessarily good, even though it might be reality. In terms of what I want to watch in an anime, it doesn't hit for me. Like I've said before, it kind of sounds like an insult. I kind of mean it a tiny bit like that. It reminds me of like a B tier. What's it called? What's it? Fuck, I'm forgetting again. The one I just mentioned. Fuck. God damn it. Love is War. Kaguya-sama Love is War.
Right.
It feels like a B tier Love is War, and we're gonna see the difference. Like I said, if what you said is accurate, Matt, where we're gonna have both of them in the spring 2022, where we have both of them at the same time, season 2 and season 3. We're gonna have one more season, or season 3 gonna be it for Kaguya? Do you know?
I think we'll get one or two more.
You're gonna see the difference, and you're gonna see that Comey is like a B tier as far as I'm concerned. So it came in overhyped. As far as like I feel, it's still not bad. I don't hate it by any means. As much as I'm trashing it right now, I don't hate it. I just don't love it nearly as much as most people do.
Right. Number one on my honorable mention is Faraway Paladin.
Wow.
I liked it, but it just did not make the cut for me.
Really?
I wasn't crazy about William in the first half. I was just more intrigued with Gus, Blood, and Mary.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as he got on his own, that's when I started enjoying it more.
I just thought about something with him, and I'll explain it when I get to mine, because I picked Paladin way higher than you picked him. So
yeah,
I'll explain.
All right, we'll get to that. All right, that's all mentions. Now it's time for the top 10. All right, what's your number 10?
Senpai is annoying. I didn't rate it too much higher than you did.
All right, a little bit, but I can see it.
Yeah. I didn't rate it that much higher, but
Well, plus I also watched more series in this season than you did.
Did you?
More. I mean, I had more. I watched by myself.
I think you did. Yeah, I think you did watch like a little bit more. I watched 17.
And some of the other 17. Ones are also just continuations.
Yeah, I picked 17 total. So
yeah.
And yeah, you actually did watch because you were out with COVID, so you got to binge stuff like Super Cooks and JoJo, which count.
Yeah.
Did you pick Super Cooks and JoJo?
No, JoJo. I'm putting for winter.
Did you pick Super Cooks?
I'm not telling you.
It sounds like you did. All right, fair enough. Yeah, Senpai's annoying. I picked a 10. Much for the same reasons you picked, Matt. Like, I expected a lot more, especially like I had mentioned previously in the last episode, between the whole dynamic of senpai kohais that we've gotten lately with several animes. I totally expected a little bit more than I got from senpai. At the end of the day, my favorite part of senpai was the secondary relationship between Sakurai and Kazuma. That's not necessarily a good thing. You know what I mean? So
right.
I just, maybe season 2 will be better. Just didn't hit it the way I thought it would.
All right. Number 10 for me is Tact.
Man, we're vastly different on stuff. Okay, keep going though.
I get there was some good. I liked Lenny. I liked Titan. Tact.
Yeah.
And Tact was okay for a while.
Yeah.
Destiny was just generic for half of the series.
Yeah.
The villains were weak as hell.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy some of the fights. I did like how music was used as a concept.
Yeah.
But like the ending just it kind of fucked up a little bit. But again, for a good chunk of it, there was not that much plot, or it was very, very slow.
Yeah.
And we didn't get a lot of character development till like episode 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So it's the fact that I had that slow buildup is what downgraded for me. And you can't just hide it with incredible animation.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people are dumb like that these days. Like, people do catch on. They want more than just the animation. They want characters. They want story. They want there's a bunch of other stuff, and they got some of them right, but some of them they just did it. But I still enjoyed it to make it a top 10.
Yeah.
So I was a little more disappointed in that aspect. But okay, with all the good, it worked.
Sure.
That's why it's 10.
Sure.
All right, number 9.
My number 9 is Banished Hero.
Okay.
Banished Hero. Yeah, it was a solid series. It's I wouldn't call it an isekai because it's not really somebody being
It's a fantasy. It's just a fantasy.
Yeah,
it's just a fantasy.
It's a fantasy, but it's a decent fantasy. You know, there's hope in terms of like blessings and such. Like when the concept of blessings, the action's pretty good. As I mentioned, the love story between Red and Rit is one of the highlights of the show. It's an unexpected highlight because that's not really what the show is about. It's not really focusing on their relationship per se, as it focuses on Red being excommunicated from the group, of which his sister is the hero, because of various reasons. And so even though Red and Rit is a critical aspect of the story, it's not the highlighted aspect. But that stood out for me in terms of the season because of how nice they did the relationship and how adult oriented it is. And so that stood out for me, and that made it a highlight for me. The action is pretty good. Animation and colors is pretty good. Again, that OP is one of my favorite OPs. In terms of a singular OP, it's my OP of the season, even though I chose Jobless as the OP because of how it sets the mood and sets the tone for the season. In terms of a singular OP, that and Taisho were some of my favorite OPs. Banished Hero specifically was really good. So yeah, it wasn't bad. I wouldn't necessarily put it toward the top recommendations of fantasies that you could watch, but I wasn't upset watching it whatsoever.
Very good. All right, number 9, Taisho Otome.
Wow, we're so
fast. Yeah, I enjoy it a lot. Just again, some of the other stuff I watched, I liked a little better.
Sure. All right.
And again, my only complaint was it was a little bit kiddish with the tone, but I still enjoy.
There's the man that watched fucking Ranking of Kings.
Yeah, but it was more mature. Like, it wasn't really kiddish. Like, you got a bunch of crazy shit in it.
The story is about a special needs 6-year-old.
Yeah, but they didn't act. Not everyone acted like fucking children.
Neither, not in fucking what's it called thing either.
It's just But I liked characters.
Whatever, it's your opinion. It's your opinion. Fine.
Yeah. Okay, again, you love more of the gushy shit more than I.
But you share at least some desire to watch gushy shit.
I do it because I like it, but as a romance fan, like I like Duke and Death better. I like Fruits Basket better. Like
we didn't get those options now, did we? We had to settle for what we got. So I'm ranking it based off of what we got in relation.
I know what we got, but I'm saying like compared for the rest of the year.
I mean, forget it. Like most of these animes that we're ranking aren't going to make our top 10 of the fucking season come next week. Sorry to break it to you, folks. Most of them won't be.
You mean for the
year? Sorry.
Well, yeah, some of them, not all of them. Some of them.
Most of these aren't. I'm sorry. But when I come up with a top 10 list of the year, not many of these are going to be on there.
We're doing 25 for the year.
Are we?
That's what I was going to do.
Oh well, fuck then. Yeah, never mind. Then a lot of
them.
Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, 25 and 5 mentions.
Well, all right.
That's what I was going to do because this year there's a lot more to cover.
All right.
And that's basically all we're doing next week, except for like 4 episodes of reviews.
Basically, it's going to be a long one, folks. Strap in.
That will be a long one. But
I
still liked a bunch of it. But again, there's other stuff I liked better.
All right. Keep on going with your explanation.
But no, that was it for that one. Number 8.
Mieurko-chan for me.
Okay.
I just, bro, like I don't do horror. Like I'm a pussy.
I know you don't.
I'm a pussy ass bitch. I don't do horror. It's a miracle I do Jujutsu Kaisen. I love the fuck out of Jujutsu Kaisen. That's considered a horror.
Right.
So
yeah, that's horror supernatural type. Yeah.
Yeah. I already rated mieurko-chan. For those who don't know, I have my nephew staying with me, and he loves the shit out of mieurko-chan. But he's also 16. Right. He's also 16, and so
that explains everything.
He's a super addict to the opie. But yes, I chose Mieruko as number 8. And so, like I said, the fucking ghost, they're, as much as the ghosts give me the heebie-jeebies, the principle of the ghosts themselves and the animation of the ghosts is really well done. For what, for a horror type anime. The comedy aspects of Mieruko were funny when they hit. The etchiness was fucking, I love a good etchy, so that's fine with me. Etchiness was cool. Animation was good. The music, some of the music, it really did help depending on the scenes, whether it would be the emotional scenes or the dramatic like scenes that are like building to something to build that tension. That was really well done. And then of course, what kept me around from not dropping it was the emotional aspects. There were so many good emotional aspects, especially for myself as a cat owner. I love the fuck out of my cat, and so to see like a lot of the emotional aspects with the cats, to see a lot of emotional aspects with some of the hauntings, and being saved by like like her father, you're right, her father, the old lady who lost her husband.
Yeah,
that was like I said, all those emotional aspects, they kept me invested. Again, I'm a sucker for mushy shit, and that's one of the main things why I kept staying, because I wanted to see that payoff. And we did get that payoff at the end to a certain extent. So I ranked it higher than I originally. I put it as before we started this podcast, I had it as honorable mention number 2. And the more like I started thinking about all the other ones that are ahead of it and some of your descriptions, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna rank it higher, and so it's gonna stay at 8. So I picked it at 8.
All right, number 8, a Hickey Story.
Okay.
I like when I explained it for the drama, that kind of just summed it up themselves. Rise and fall of an empire. Storytelling from this girl. Again, I've said enough about it when I was reviewing it. Our style is great. It's based on a book, not a manga or an anime. So I had a lot of fun just watching it, and it ended the right way of how that type of story goes. So yeah, that's number 8 for me. All right, number 7.
Platinum End.
Oh yeah, you definitely ranked it higher than I.
Yeah, I ranked it. You didn't even rank it, right?
No, I did not.
I
didn't touch it.
Beyond Mirai being a pussy ass bitch and fucking a putz and annoyingly fucking goody two shoes, I love everything else about the show. I love the graphic nature of the show. I love the villain dynamic. I love the other characters, like you had mentioned in the previous episode, how much you love Mukaido and how critical he is. Mukaido's great. I don't mind Saki, and I even though like the stories of how these people gave up on their lives is really like sad, I can appreciate that, after seeing stuff like Wonder Egg and seeing animes of that nature. Like I come to, if you can give me a good story based off of why this person is feeling that despair, like I'll buy into it. And so I definitely did buy into that from Platinum End's aspect. The action is fantastic. Music, it helps. It is really good. And the story, people want to talk shit about the story, and the story is not going to be A1. It's not A1. I concede that it's not an A1 story, but it's not that shitty of a story. It's got potential. We're only halfway through Platinum End, and there's a lot more to go. So I'm very curious to see where this show goes. It has a lot of potential. I highly doubt I'm going to put it as a 5. I don't think I'll ever put it as a 5. I haven't rated the show at all yet because we're only halfway through. But it's got potential to potentially be up to a 4 for me. I would give it a 3 right now if I were to give it a grade through the halfway point. And I'm just curious to see where it goes from here. So there's a lot of potential, a lot of things that I liked. Again, the main complaint that most people have beyond just like the shitty story in episode, I think it was episode 8, where they just kept spinning and spinning and spinning and spinning, which is what has led now to Mukaido being deteriorated. So in a way, that shitty story kind of helps move this story along to a certain aspect. So besides Mirai, I like everything else about the show. So that's why I ranked it 7.
All right, number 7 for me. Komi can't communicate.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I do like the dynamic of Tadano and Komi. I do like some of the. I do enjoy some of the other characters. I think the music's great. OP and ED are great.
Yeah.
Sometimes they came a little too much. Otherwise, I probably would have ranked it a little higher. I still stand by what I said. This probably should have just stayed as a manga.
I have no faith that they're not going to pick Komi and Tadano as couple of the year. None.
No.
They're going to pick them as. I think they're going to pick them as couple.
You can pick them as. You can probably pick as friendship wise. You probably could, but not couple yet.
Because you know how, like I said, how overrated I feel it is. I feel like they're going to be up there. They're going to be up there.
Yeah. But again, we talked about enough. Again, I still had some problems. Otherwise, it would have been a little higher.
Yeah.
But other than that, again, from stuff that do good, especially with the comedy or just people in general, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right. Number 6.
Faraway Paladin for me. You know,
I
can't dispute a lot of what you said. You know, I was thinking as you were talking about what you were saying about Paladin, I was like, we could have ranked this as a mystery because this is an isekai. We don't know how Will came into this earth. Like we get the story, and it's a good story of him being born there and how he was taken care of by Gus, Mary, and Blood. But we don't know his past life. All we know is it's hazy. He hears parts. In the last episode, for example, he goes back in time and he's like, he feels like I'm alone. I'm sad. And that's not from that moment. That's from his past life, feeling alone and sad.
Yeah.
And so there's a mystery there that I want to know. And they've already announced the season 2. I'm looking forward to it. I don't think we mentioned that in the news, by the way. Newsflash, they did announce the season 2 of Faraway Paladin, undetermined date.
That's right. We did, yeah.
We did not mention that. It'll come out. Did they say in 2022?
I don't think it said year.
But they did mention a season 2. So we will get a season 2 of Paladin. Very much looking forward to it. Again, I can't disagree with a lot of what you said regarding it, Matthew. Like, I understand it.
Yeah.
But in terms of like what we did get from Paladin, I did enjoy it. I enjoy how open Will is. I enjoy the action when we get the action. I enjoy how they tie things together with the stories. That's one of the things that I like with a story is how they piece things and tie them together later on in the series. And so what we've gotten, again, I agree, it's not an A1 story, but what we've gotten, they've taken a good part of taking questions that they present and tie them into different aspects and either answer them completely or answer them to a point where, okay, it's an acceptable answer and we'll wait for more. Or it's an acceptable answer. I understand it. It is what it is. So I enjoy that aspect of it as well. If you want to go off of like the slice of life aspects of a boy who grew up with no friends, trying to find friends and trying to go off of that, like that's cool. That's not necessarily the greatest thing in the world, but you can go off of that. That's not bad. And so again, it's another one, like I had mentioned with Platinum Men, where there's a lot of potential going forward with it. I don't like it more than the other 5 that we're at, but yeah. I thought it was pretty solid. As I mentioned in the last episode, I gave it a 4 out of 5. The season finale is going to be on Saturday for us, this coming Saturday, which will be New Year's Day. So I'm looking forward to that at some point, seeing that. And yeah.
Alrighty, number 6 for me, Super Crooks.
I tell you ranked it. I didn't see it's on my list and I want to watch it because it looks so much like Great Pretender. And I love the fuck out of Great Pretender.
Yeah, I got Great Pretender vibes. Instead of just like 3 different cases, it's just one heist, and the characters for this are just fantastic. I enjoy these characters. Casey, Johnny, Gladiator, the Praetorian, the Diesel brothers, like they're all so good. And then the payoff, like you get that one heist and then stuff that happened after, and then the stuff at the end, the payoff, I am going
to watch it. Like there's a couple I want to watch on there. I want to watch High Rise Invasion from last year. That's on there as well. But Super Crooks is going to be high on my list for sure that I want to watch on Netflix.
Oh, yeah, this was definitely worth it. So
yeah.
Again, you can watch this sub or dubbed. Again, I did dub because it took place in the States, and the main character voice Lego Shade, I love his voice.
I'm just so if it's an anime, I'm just so used to watching it in sub now. Like I'm more open. You know what? I will concede that I am more open to a dub aspect if the anime takes place in the United States. Only if that anime takes place in the United States would I be willing to watch it in a dub. Honestly, I watched part 5 of JoJo and I wanted to watch it in fucking Italian. Yeah. Okay. Because of the region that it was in.
Well, that's the thing. I watched Super Crooks in dub, and I watched Great Pretender in dub. But even when you got in dub, people have spoke French, Japanese. They still have those other languages in those countries.
I'm curious to know if you watch one of the critical episodes. Watch one of the critical episodes for me in sub, and tell me which one you prefer.
I probably will watch like somewhere in the middle, and then I'll go from there. From that. And I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, but yeah, again, it's just so good. I loved it, and I probably would have picked if we had an action category. It would have been on there.
Did we not?
The fight? What?
Did we not?
We know well because we hardly get that much action type. Is it?
Yeah, we don't have shonen on here as a category.
That's more of a demographic.
Is it?
Yeah,
I always thought shonen was a category.
Sometimes, but it's mostly a demographic like shoujo, seinen, and shonen.
Yeah. True, fair.
Yeah, but yeah, that's definitely number 6. All right, we're up to the 5s. All right, we're back.
Tadaima.
All right, number 5 for you.
Go. I'm gonna start counting down in Japanese. Go. Talked. You know.
Oh yeah, you definitely ranked it higher than I did.
I ranked it higher than you did. I ranked a couple higher than you did, but I think our top 2 are going to be pretty. Well, maybe we'll see. I know 2 of them are going to be in your top 5. I know that much.
Yeah.
Talked. Yeah, I mean, look, the ending was disconjointed, not clear. It's a hype for the game. I understand that. It was a letdown. It was half of my disappointment of the season. Excluding the end, it's a visual masterpiece. It is a visual godsend. The story, people shit on the story. I'm not going to shit on your opinion of shitting on the story. I thought it was better than some people gave it credit for, but I'm easy to please. I admit that I'm a sucker for simple shit. I'm not looking at things from a Freudian standpoint when I look at some of these stories. I enjoy some Freudian aspects of a story, but I'm not going to sit here and rip apart piece by piece a story because it doesn't fit a certain criteria of complexity. I'm not going to do that. So in terms of what we got for the story, if you think about the story up until Lenny dies, it's a fantastic story as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
It's fantastic for me, or at least great. At minimum, it's a great story. So when I think of those aspects, cool with that. Visual masterpiece. It's a music anime that has wonderful music. I know some people, especially nowadays, people aren't into classical music. I have a soft spot for classical music because I took a music appreciation class when I was in college, way back when. So I love classical music. I enjoy theater. I enjoy the arts. Takt gives you theatrical music. I love that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and even though they kind of gave you like some jazz, it flipped up. They did give you some jazz in the middle of it. And I like jazz too. So it appealed to me, not on purpose, but it did certainly appeal to me. And yeah, in terms of the romances, they're a little bit all over the place. Can't lie. But they're there. And I liked it. The action, and the other thing is the action is the action to me is the best action of the season. Well, maybe not. Maybe Assassin's better, but it's got great action.
Yeah.
So all those things considered, and the other thing is I enjoyed Takt far more than I enjoyed all the other ones that I mentioned prior to that. I enjoyed it way better than all these other ones. I was looking forward to Takt up until the season finale. We were both gung ho, Takt. Oh my god, Takt. Oh my god, damn that fucking Sagan. Damn that Schindler. Like, oh, we were invested. If you can invest in an anime, that means something. That should rank high because you invested in some sort of emotion in that anime. And so I would say that honestly, for my top 5, I've invested emotion in some or a lot of capacity for what we're seeing. So that's why I ranked it 5.
All right, fair enough. All right, number 5 for me, mieurko-chan. Again, I enjoyed
this
one a lot
from where I was at. Not far off.
Yeah. Again, I enjoyed this one a lot more than you did. So
yeah.
Yeah, I love that when they do sometimes do comedy, it does play well. You know, Hana can sometimes be annoying. The horror aspects are fantastic.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little. Yeah, you got some edgy stuff, but sometimes they work. Sometimes
you're not Angel. You're not a hater.
Yeah, no, I don't hate it, but if it's too much, is where I start to hate it. But it just wasn't too much.
Yeah,
except for like maybe one or two of the episodes, not every episode.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah, episode 2 is very edgy. That was the only one like, But I don't know what hell. Some of them didn't have them at all.
Is that the one with the hands? My nephew's asking.
Yeah, the one with the hands. Hannah losing her panties. Them squirting stuff on each other, get wet. Miko being pinned against the walls.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they were 18, that would be super hot. Probably would whip.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it was still too much. But again, and when we didn't have them, it didn't need them.
It doesn't need them. But Angel had mentioned, our friend Angel, who's a horror expert, he mentioned that it's a typical trope. So if it's based off of the typical trope, it's accepted. And it's not, even though it's not necessarily tasteful, it's not egregious.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I just don't like it overdone, like very unnecessary. Like they just do it just because.
Mm-hmm.
And and we get those sweet moments like Miko's dad, and then we get the fucked up shit like with Zen. And then the stuff with the Spears. I want to know more about the Spears. Why they kind of want to kill Miko, basically.
Yes, there is that aspect of it that I would like to know. That's why I think there'll be a season 2. I hope.
Yeah, and
I do hope there's a season 2.
Yeah, and again, we got great development from Miko. Again, from everything I said of why she was best girl for me. There's still a lot there. That's why I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So that's why it's number 5.
Fair enough.
Number 4.
Yon. Hachijusan Roku. Hachiju Roku. There we go. 86. Hachiju Roku.
All right.
I chose 86. You know what? If I had gotten the final 2 episodes and they had delivered the way the last fucking 10 episodes of this series has, it would probably be 2 or 1. Easily. Because it's incomplete, I gave it 4. For the 10 episodes that we did get, it's another show that's animated stupendously. The music is really good. It caters to the story. It builds tension. It pays off sadness or hope, depending on the scene that develops in front of you. It pays that off quite well. The story itself, even though people like Angel hate it, the story itself is quite wonderful. Not wonderful in the content because it's quite sad. Again, 86 is about child soldiers basically being forced to fight due to racism and segregation. They are segregated away from a certain people and forced to fight to the death for these people to gain nothing, to gain absolutely nothing. There's no freedom. There's nothing. They're treated as dogs to be led out to slaughter. It's horrendous, but from a story aspect, it's fantastic because you can invest in that. You can invest in the emotion of seeing someone being called a pig, and that that person being called a pig is being called a pig not because they're piggy, not because they're gross, just because their hair was red or their hair is brown instead of white. Hearing the word pig is the equivalent of like hearing like the N-word if you were to hear that. Like in that aspect, like you can invest because you hate it, or you should hate it. At least you should hate that. And seeing that story about these 6 individuals, these 6 children, basically, because they're all teenagers, these 6 children being forced to fight and being damn good at it, but seeing people, their comrades die, and it's crazy. It's an absolute crazy story. And to see how they've built on that in the second core, because this 86, this is the second core of 86. 86 part 1 was stupendous. I put it in my top 5, I believe, as well. And so 86, this second core has been even better in terms of developing story and understanding the stuff that we see with Lena being defiant and being bitchy because of the fact that the people that she employs, she's not racist, but she is a part of that race that is racist. It's like, it's like the woke white person. Certain woke white people are like, really, dude, shut the fuck up. But then there's really other certain woke white people that understand the plight of blacks to some capacity, that they can really rep the Black Lives Matter stuff like properly. And that's how it is with Lena. Lena can definitely rep the plight of the 86 because she feels for them. She cries for them. She aches for them. She's suffering for them because she's getting demoted and being deranked and being ostracized for caring about these people, because she should care about those people, because that's what fucking humanity is about. Caring for people and not looking at them because of the fact that their skin color is different or their hair color is different or they have an accent or this or that. Like, that's what the fuck you should do. And so, seeing that, it's so easy to invest. And again, we see the story get sadder and sadder with these people because they're dealing with death, and they could have had a life. They escaped the battlefield because they escaped the Republic, because the Republic wrote them off as dead, and they got picked up by the Confederacy. And the Confederacy should, like, they offer them, like, listen, we understand where you came from. We don't want you to be that anymore. We want you to live free and happy, and you get to choose what you want to do. You get to choose what you want to eat, where you want to go. Do you want to go to school? Do you want to go shopping? If you go shopping, do you want that dress? Do you want this certain type of food? Basic stuff that you should appreciate and that you get to appreciate as a normal human being. These people did not get to appreciate. And the fact that they chose to go out into the fucking war again because they can't live a free life, because all they know is how to kill and fight against people. That's fucking amazing. It's amazing. And to see that progression throughout the season with so many different characters, the character building, it's outside of Jobless, the character building, it's number 2 in terms of character building this season. And it's gonna be in my top 10 probably of the year. Spoiler alert, just because of how amazing it is. I can't rank it higher because it's not complete, but in terms of how you can hear, I'm trying to project that passion because that's how much 86 it means in terms of what I've seen this season. It's fucking great. It is so great. I can't recommend, out of all the animes I would recommend to you this season, Jobless is 1 and 86 is 1A. Even if it is incomplete, it's 1A. It's fucking awesome. It's so awesome. And I'm so mad that we don't get to see the final 2 episodes until March of 2022. And I'm really hoping, because we are having to wait that long, that we get the best conclusion to the season that we could have possibly ever fucking hoped for. And if it does that, goddamn, will I be a happy fucking camper.
All right. Mic drop from Ethan right there. All right. Number 4 for me, World's Finest Assassin.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, I like Luke. I like Tarte, Maha, Dia. I enjoy them, especially Luke's dad. Harem-wise, I enjoy this a lot more in a more stable, healthy sense.
It's tasteful. That's tasteful.
Yeah, and they're not generic characters.
You're right. We actually care about them.
Yeah, we care about them, and they actually aren't like, hey, fuck you, guy. Don't get away from my man. No, like, they all legit care for Luke.
Yeah.
And despite them using him, they know he's a good guy deep down. Yeah. He just doesn't want to admit it because he shows weakness or something. I don't fucking know.
Something like that.
But yeah, no, we enjoy those. I like the concept of assassination in a fantasy type world. Like, he's playing off well. And a little OP, but you know what? It works. It works for it works for his job.
I like it.
Yeah, and it works there. So for all those, I enjoy for that, and that's why it was number 4.
Fair enough.
All right, number 3.
San Taisho Otome is my number 3.
All righty, very good.
Yes, my romance of the season, my surprise of the season. Again, as I had mentioned in the previous episode, in terms, you know what? I'm gonna change my mind. 86 is 3, Taisho is 4. Let me go on and I'll explain Taisho in general. Okay. Let me type this up. 86 is 3, and then Taisho is 4. But like I said, yeah, my anime of the season, or not anime of the season, I'm sorry, my romance of the season, my romance of the season, and my surprise of the season. Taisho, basically, again, I enjoy stuff that provides historical context, and it was surprisingly accurate with the historical aspect, with the Great Kanto earthquake that we see toward the end of the season. Again, the building love, even though, as Matt said, it is childish to a certain extent, so it's tough to invest in it the same way you would invest in a romance like a Horimiya or like a Toradora, just to throw one out there, you know what I'm saying, or like maybe a Sword Art Online with teenagers, but where there's adult aspects to their love. It's tough to invest in that. I can understand that, but just again seeing that whole aspect of the despair, the darkness, depression being obliterated by love, hope, care, compassion, happiness, joy, appreciation for this person's existence, just being happy they exist and living to make them happy because of the fact that they understand how like fucked that person's life has been. That means something, you know what I'm saying? And to see that character progression between them in terms of the relationship aspect and how it grew from beginning to end, it's really, 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 really nice. Again, historical aspects nice. The music is very good as well. Taisho had great music, great singing. I love the OP. Edie's not bad. Singing music throughout is great. The character, we can appreciate the characters. They do a good job of character building and character appreciation, where we can invest in the characters in some capacity, not just the main characters, but a couple sub characters as well. And it leaves more to be desired, but that's not a bad thing, honestly. And so for my romance of the season, I mean, granted, there weren't many great options compared to past seasons, but I appreciated Taisho very, very, very much. And I hope that there's more. If not, then that's cool too. But I enjoyed it.
Very good. All right. Number 3 for me, Blue Period. This probably would have been a little bit higher if the animation was a lot more like better. Like I enjoy the animation, but this should have been the best animation in terms of like it's an art concept. It's about artists. Mm-hmm. So you figure stuff like that, it would have like the best animation. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Like if it had that, yeah, I would have said this as best animation, like way better than Tax, but that unfortunately didn't happen. But the art pictures we saw, they're beautiful. I do enjoy the characters. I like the drama slice of life of it, the life of an actual artist, what art students actually go through. And just the episodes with Yaguchi and Ryuji, when Ryuji was like depressed, it's hinted about suicide, all those episodes were just fantastic. I love those interactions. I love the bond of their friendship. And again, I
as an outsider hearing you talk as well, I think it should get appreciated for the fact that it also does a good job of representing LGBTQ and some of the plights that they go through, and kind of representing the type of people that they can be as well in the
and the stuff and the actual positive and or negative stuff they go through. And and their life of it was negative from the mom and dad.
Yeah, I can appreciate that. I enjoy stuff that
it's subtle. They keep it.
It's not in your face, but
it's not in your face, and it's not a main focus. But when it's needed for like a person crying for help, it works.
It does,
and it does that well with Yaguchi. So I love for all that. And there's again the OP, ED, everything about it. I just love this. So I appreciate an artist aspect. So that's why it's number 3. It probably could have been number 2, but it's easy solid 3.
Indeed.
All right, number 2.
Should we take our last commercial break before we do 2 and 1 and then finish?
We still got our winter watch list.
Our winter watch list. All right, so we'll do it after. We'll do it after number 1.
Yeah, that's our last commercial.
All right, fair enough. Number 2, Ni, World's Finest Assassin.
All righty.
Not much I can add really in terms of what Matt said, but
and everything we talked about,
and everything we've talked about multiple weeks. Assassin is just a very complete anime as far as I'm concerned. It's the reason why I ranked it above 86 is because of the fact that it's complete, and because of the fact that we'll get a season 2 confirmed, and because of the more or less confirmed. It's not officially confirmed, but it will be confirmed. And then season 2 and just season 2, just Assassin in general, it does a great job in terms of the story that it tries to tell. But listen, you see adult assassin in the very first episode deal with what's it called? It's a great story. Like his story in and on itself was great. I thought we were gonna get more story from that aspect. I really thought we were gonna get more of seeing him as an adult before he fucking gets killed. Not he was gonna die in the very first episode, and the episode ends with him being reincarnated. So yeah, the fact that we got that, and then throughout the season, again, just him being just fucking OP. I'm not like Marte. Marte lives and dies with OP characters, and if guys aren't OP, he doesn't fuck with them. I don't mind when they're not OP, but the fact that he is OP certainly helps. I love it. As you mentioned, the harem aspect is very tasteful and done properly. And again, the action, awesome. Music, good. Animation, awesome. Like everything about this, there's nothing not good about this anime. And that's a key to having a really good anime is there's nothing you can say, not the story, not the characters, not the character development, not the world, not the animation, not the music, there's nothing about this show that is at minimum good. And a lot of it is great. And that consistency is very key to having a top anime contender of the season. And so for me, Assassin is definitely one of those top anime contenders as far as I'm concerned. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing more of Assassin. And yeah.
Very good. All right. Number 2, Rank of the Kings.
Nah.
If there was more, I probably would have picked the number 1, but we'll talk about number 1 in a second. Like we'll just share it. We'll have to go back and forth with it because it's the same.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the story of Boji, the coming of age story of a kid just got fucked over because his dad is selfish.
Yeah.
And just wanted more power, and he was willing to sacrifice his children to make it happen. That's why Boji has these conditions where he's deaf and mute and can't lift anything. And they also use Daida as a vessel and just to take his body for Boji to possess it.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
A lot of these stuff that's fucked up, and you guess some of these twists, like something you think you know about these characters, but you really don't. You think these people are evil, but they're not. So you think these guys are good, but they're not.
Right.
And they play these off so well. And since that's when we do get the action, it's good. And you actually see the struggles of Boji, like not just being baby, like there people try to help. And you actually see him as this kind, gentle soul, despite people making fun of him.
Yeah.
And he tries so hard to hold that in.
Yeah.
Like when he's alone, he cried in his room because again, he got scolded by random villagers, random kids, and his mother-in-law.
Yeah. Saying
that he's not fit to be a king. That's all he wants. He wants to be a king. He wants to be a kind king. But due to everything that's happened to him, they don't see it. And they make fun of him for it.
Yeah.
Like they think nothing of him when he's a lot more than what he is capable of. And Despa shows that. And Kage supports him for that.
Mm-hmm.
And again, with Queen Helen and Prince Daida, like you expect them to be these pricks, but they're really not.
Mm-hmm.
It's just Daida's young. And then with Helen, she just really cares and just wants to protect.
Yeah.
And fucking Boji Swordsman fucking pushed him off a cliff thinking he killed them.
Psych!
Yeah. And yeah, he showed like he had that regret at the end. He was just ordered to.
Yeah.
And yeah, you get so much of those aspects, and I am just so excited for part 2.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I wanted this to be number 1, but from what we're going to talk about next, it's kind of hard to.
It's damn near impossible this season to not put number 1 as number 1.
Yeah.
Unless you're Angel, then of course.
Yeah. I understand also, but he also got that he doesn't really like Mashuka, so it's kind of hard to fully compare because they're 2 different aspects. There's 2 different journeys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's number 2. We'll talk about number 1 together. Each. Mashuko Tensei.
Jobless reincarnation.
It's again, we praised it enough. It's just a fantastic fantasy series. The world building, the character developments, more Rudy, Eris, Rudyard, and we get more about Roxy and her why she left home, why she doesn't want to go home, because she can't really hear all that type of stuff, and just again we got more stuff. Eris, we got the relationship of Eris and Rudy. Rudyard leaves. We see Paul. We see those 2 episodes back to back. Those were that's when it started picking up to being fantastic.
Yep.
When we saw that reunion, that how like their confliction of like first they were like angry with each other because Rudy told the story a different way, thinking he had a fun time, even though he really didn't.
Yeah.
And you find out what Paul really went through trying to find everyone.
Yeah.
Like he's like lost. He became more of an alcoholic. He lost his smile, type of thing.
Yeah.
And when he finally makes up with Rudy, that moment, that's that moment in general, especially when the bartender like, hey, look at it, like look at his eyes, like look what he's been through.
Yeah.
And that hug, the crying, it worked. It was like a chef's kiss, and the sex scene, and then Rudy being alone, crying for the first time, and the way he picked himself back up, the fights, the additional characters like Orsted, Gishlane's family, like where she came from, just all of that. It's growth. We're getting a more complete life story of Rudis. And we're going to get those when the studio keeps making them. Because that's what the web novel did. It told the story from beginning to end. Nothing left out. And what more can you say?
Not a lot. There's really not a lot I can add to that. I mean,
yeah,
you encapsulated everything well, but I mean, just in terms of all the other auxiliary stuff, the music is fantastic. As I mentioned before, I gave it.
Hell, the animation in this is also fantastic.
Yes, the animation is fantastic. As Matt just said, the studio was specifically created for this show. If
they want to tell this story,
they want it to be a success, and by God, they really are. But like I said, the animation story, Matt just told you everything you need to know about the story. It's great in terms of a redemption piece and in terms of becoming the living out your new life the way you said that you were going to intend to do it. The way Rudy said it's truthful. And like I said, the story aspect is always the key aspect. The action, though, when you get it, fantastic. Music, great. Comedy, great. Etchiness, when you see it as jokes, great. And even as Matt said, when you see them have sex for the first time, it's tactful, it's sensual, it's not gross, not grotesque, not and they
handled it well. Like they
handled it well for
nudity.
Yeah, for a 15-year-old girl and a 13-year-old girl. Even though the 15-year-old girl is now considered an adult in the anime, 15 to 15, and according to the majority of people in the world. So take that as you will, unless you're weird. But in any case, it's done respectfully well. Again, the plights, the trials and tribulations you see Rudy and you see the other characters go through as well. That redemption story of Paul and Rudy, a father and a son disconnecting and going through their troubles, only to come back and make up and make sure that all is right, because at the end of the day, it's all about family. And no matter what you want to say about Rudy as well, in terms of his life being trying to get this redemption story going, part of it and part of that story is about family. And even with all these people, with all the different characters, there's there's baselines of family. Ruijerd losing his family because of the fact that he is a superb and trying to redeem redeem that name and restore that name to one of honor and one of not fear, but one of just normalcy, and restore his clan's normalcy of just being normal people, not feared creatures, not heathens like people had once thought they were. Eris being with her family, then losing her family, and now she's completely alone outside of Ghislaine and Rudy, and more or less she's still alone. Like, she's completely alone. Rudy, as we mentioned, with his family and everything that he's gone through as well, and everything that he relies on them and realizes what how much they're there, etc. That ideology of family is so critical in Mushoku Tensei as well. It's quite brilliant. Yeah, dude. I mean, fuck. There's not much I can add to it. Yeah. It's a 5 out of 5 anime. Yeah, it's a 5 out of 5.
This one takes the cake. That takes the main cake for anime of the season.
Anime of the season. It is definitely the triple decker wedding cake.
There we go. All righty, we're gonna take our last commercial break.
Hey, before we do, did you give ratings for every single one? Just go over. Let's go over ratings real quick as a recap. Just numbers out of 5.
Well, we talked about we didn't talk about Mieurko and Mushoku. Mieurko for me is 4 out of 5, and Tensei is 5 out of 5.
I gave Tensei 5 out of 5. I gave Mieurko 3 out of 5. Just as a recap from my end, Scarlet 3, low 3, Aquatope low 3, Komi flat 3, Senpai flat 3, Banished Hero upper flat 3, Mieurko flat 3, Platinum End upper flat 3, Paladin 4, Tact 4, Taisho 4, 86 5, Assassin 5, Jobless 5. So my top 3 are considered 5s.
All right, we're not going to go back and forth with this. We're just going to list what we're going to watch for the winter. Even what are you watching for winter?
You know, I owed you anime, didn't I?
You did.
I did, and we decided that I'm going to watch my first yaoi anime. I'm going to watch my first gay anime. I'm going to watch Sasaki to Miyano-san.
There you go.
So, honest to God, I'm really nervous that this might be the romance of the season off rip. Just, I don't know. I guess.
Well, judging by the list, probably.
I'm not, again, I'm not homophobic in any way, shape, or form, but because it's outside of my comfort zone, I guess that's why I'm fearful that I'm going to love it so much.
You're nervous. You want your first one to go well.
I do want my first one to be a good one. I honestly thought my first yaoi was going to be either Yuri on Ice or is it Heaven? Given. I thought it was really going to be Given, if not Yuri on Ice. So the fact that it's going to be Sasaki and Miyano, it looks interesting. It looks good from everything that I've seen and heard of thus far. It looks like a gay what's it called? Horimiya.
It could be, yeah.
It looks like a gay Horimiya to me, but we'll see. So that's on there. What else am I watching? Demon Slayer, obviously. World's End Harem, obviously. Ecchi, hello. I'm on the fence about My Dress Up Darling. I'm kind of not, but it kind of seems rom-com-ish. So depending on what I hear, maybe. So for now, no. The second part of How a Realist Hero Rebuilt the Kingdom, that was a summer anime that the second core is going to be this season. The second season of Princess Connect Redive. Honestly, Princess Connect Redive, I saw in 2020 at the onset of the pandemic, and the beginning of the show was lame as fuck. I hated it. And then toward the end of the show, there was more action and more story, and it was acceptable for me. So I'm gonna continue on and see. Hopefully, I don't suffer. There's that. Love of Kill. That looks really good. I'm gonna watch that. The Strongest Sage with the Weakest Crest. That seems pretty interesting. I'm gonna watch that. Orient. I'm gonna watch that. I've seen some shit on it, and it looks pretty fucking cool. So I'm watching Orient. I don't recall what the what's it called? Requiem of the Rose King is the source of this one. Barao no Soretsu is the Japanese name of it. There's an American name for it, but it's not listed here. But I'm gonna watch that. Give me a moment while this thing refreshes again. Tokyo 24th Ward. That looks interesting, so I'm gonna watch that. And I think that's it. So that's Ichi, Ni, San, Yon, Go, Roku, Nana, Hachi, Q, Ju, and then that's 10 from that's considered on the winner side. Continuations, we have Platinum End, that's 11. Boruto is 12. And I believe that's it for me. And then I'll be trying to finish up JoJo because I finished, by the way, guys, unrelated. I finished the 5th part of JoJo. I'm now caught up on all the old parts of JoJo, and I've now started the 6th part that halfway debuted on Netflix, Stone Ocean. I'm 2 episodes through that and liking it so far. So as soon as I'm done with that, probably sometime, hopefully in the next week or two. Matt and I will do a review. Probably starting off one of our shows with that. So I've got 12, buddy.
All right, I think I'm more than you.
You probably do.
All right, continuations: Lupin the Third Part 6, Platinum End, and Rank of the Kings. Also, we're not talking about Attack on Titan. We're not doing that. Fuck out of here.
I forgot to mention it, but you're not watching it? I thought you do watch it.
I 1.5 seasons is enough.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you never finished the AOT. I only got to 6 episodes.
But I still don't.
And I got tired of seeing Giant naked. So it's another one that my nephew swears by. He loves AOT.
Well, it's okay. He's entitled. It's fucking trash for me.
He said that the last season they blue balled him, so he's kind of upset.
Huh. Well, it's gonna finish for him. So
yeah.
All right.
Platinum Man, Ranking Kings, and what else?
Lupin the Third.
Lupin the Third. So we're at 3. All right.
Demon Slayer, Red Light District.
Going.
Alrighty. Akabi Sailor Uniform.
Go.
Alrighty. Requiem of the Rose King.
6. That's what we're watching. Okay.
Yep. Realist Hero Season 2.
No.
Yeah, it's officially a Season 2.
Is it a Season 2? I thought it was Oh, it is Season 2. Yeah, you're right. It is Season 2. It says Part 2 here, but
I know. She professed herself pupil of the wise man. That's my isekai. Orient, I will wait to see what you think about it.
Okay.
Sasaki to Miyano.
Cute.
What you call it? Dress Up Darling. I will watch it.
I'll wait to I'll do what you're doing with Orient. I'll wait to hear what you have to say about it before I pick it.
All righty.
Yeah.
The Genius Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt.
I think I wanted to put that on there too. Give me a second.
Yeah. It excuse me. 50-50, but I might add Soul Loop. I doubt it.
I'm adding it. Said it's planning to. All right, so I've got 13 now. Sorry. That's 11.
Tokyo 24th Ward.
Need you.
And Case Study of Vanitas Season 2. 13.
Jusan.
So at 13?
Yeah, we're both at 13.
All right, very good. If it stays like that, then we'll be in good shape.
We'll be in good shape. So out of the 13 we're sharing, we're going to... you're not watching World Ends, right?
Oh, yes, that I am adding that. So 14.
14 for you, 13 for me. So we're sharing Demon Slayer, World's End, maybe Dress Up Darling, maybe Orient. So we're going to say no on those for now. So we're sharing Demon Slayer, World's End, Realist Hero,
Platinum.
Did you say Crest or no?
No, I'm not watching that.
Genius Genius Prince.
Yep.
5.
Sasaki to Miyano.
6. Sasaki 7. Tokyo 8. So we're sharing 8 out of 13.
All right, very good.
Sounds good. I'll put those in the list and look forward to those in the next coming weeks, guys.
Yep. Next week we're gonna do 5 reviews. The finales and Demon Slayer. And we're gonna do our year-end award. Since it's gonna be the end of the year, we are gonna add a couple of categories like best OVA, best movie. And then we're gonna do our top 25 of the year, along with 5 honorable mentions. Closing thoughts.
Can you put those in a guide? Or I'm sorry, can you put that in the doc so I can follow that and I'll copy and paste it inside of my notepad?
I'll do that later. Yeah.
Yeah, please. All right, cool.
Yeah.
Closing thoughts. A good season. I had more expectations, honestly, for this season than I thought I was.
It was probably the weakest season was
that we've done since we started this. Yeah.
I
would say so. Which was sad because we thought because it was so massive because we watched so many that it was going to be a really, really, really good season, and it wasn't a bad season by any stretch of the imagination.
We basically had 5 that blew us away.
Yeah,
out of like the 15, 17 we watched.
We watched like 17 or 18 a piece, dude. It was a lot.
Yeah,
I'm really happy we're only watching 13.
Winter was great.
13.
Yeah, winter was great. Spring was underrated. Summer was probably one of my better ones.
Summer is one of the best ones that I've started since I started watching seasonals on a consistent basis. Summer was up there.
Yeah. Winter was great. Spring was underrated, and fall was just okay.
Yeah, sounds about right. I agree. So we'll see what this winter comes up. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it, dude. I'm looking forward to starting.
Yeah, the year we're done. This is our last one for 2021.
It is our last show for 2021, guys. If you've made it this far in the broadcast, we just want to mention how much we appreciate you guys. Thank arigato gozaimasu minasan. Hontoni arigato. Without you guys, we wouldn't be doing a show. Even though we don't get much feedback, we do get feedback, and we do hear, and everything has come back positive. So again, we appreciate you guys so much listening. Listen to our banter, listen to us fuck around and joke around. But Matt and I, we truly get a thrill out of doing this for you guys. It's sometimes a pain in the ass for us, but at the same time, we do it because we love it. You know what I'm saying? I love hanging out with Matt once a week, talking shit about anime, talking shit about other bullshit. I talk to him every day because we're in our group together.
Pretty much.
We're gonna see each other in New York in a couple weeks when we go up there for GCW and for Bell. Can't wait to see that. Not Bell.
We'll be doing
Harmony. That's right. My bad. But yeah, I mean, dude, like I said, just honestly, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the follow and the support, and we hope you guys continue to follow us in 2022. I know we keep mentioning Keki Shop. We will be starting our second podcast.
Yeah, we're just waiting on him to finish Cowboy Bebop.
Cowboy Bebop and JoJo. Those will probably be the first two that we do. And then
but we'll do Bebop first.
For sure, Bebop will be number one. Yes, for sure, we'll do Bebop number one. Once we do that, we'll do a Keki Shop, and we'll get that ball rolling on that. And we're looking forward to big things for the show, big things for us as individuals, big things for the group, big things for our sponsors.
And we're hoping no more backlog, or just keep it to a minimum.
Yes, keeping the backlog to a minimum to none. Production issues have been covered now that I got my new laptop and we've discovered Zoom. So things are looking on the up and up. But in all seriousness, guys, thank you so much for everything that you guys do for us. We hope what we do for you equivalates that. And Matt and I wish you nothing but blessings, love, and success in the year 2022 and beyond.
I think we should just end it here. We hope you all enjoyed your holiday. Have a happy new year. We'll see you in 2022. Until then, arigato, hinato faku, and sayonara.
Sayonara, minasan!
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye!